So, tell me something terrible. You okay with it, old man?
I'm so sore.
You sat down like you didn't trust either yourself or the chair.
I don't trust myself. This chair's that like Air Force chair, so I think it'll hold me fine.
Okay, you sat down like you were worried about your structural integrity then.
Yeah, I'm really sore. You broke me during leg day.
Squats. They're good for you. You just hadn't done them in a year.
No, it's been probably since... No, It's probably been 6 months.
Okay, that's still a remarkably long time.
Yeah, because we got the Roan, and my heart was mad at me for a really long time.
That was 8 months ago.
Yeah, and I've worked out twice this week, and I haven't felt like my heart's going to explode, so those are baby steps. Because the first time I worked out after having the Roan, my heart rate hit 189, which is...
And you're like, you know what, I need 6 months off.
Yep.
That'll heal me. Not doing anything for 6 months.
Is that or have a stroke? So
You were going to have a stroke.
189? 190 stroke zone. It's fine. I'm better now.
Whatever.
It just took a while.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, it probably was like 4 months, and I was fine because you had me working out. We worked out.
Doesn't matter. No one
at the
cares.
New Year too.
No one. I don't care. I'm sitting right here. And I work out with you.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, welcome. Hi, I'm Scott.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
Still is. Now you do the other part, the normal part.
Oh, and you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
Yeah, you are. See, that feels much more natural. Sometimes I got to drag you to the finish line, though. And...
Just like on leg day?
Sure. Except you won't even squat the barbell.
Look.
No, it's fine. We've moved past that. What's today's topic? Are you going to murder a fairy tale object? Are you going to ruin some country for me? What's the plan here?
No. If you wanted me to ruin a country, it would probably be take a lot longer than a half hour to ruin a country for you.
I don't know.
We live in this one, so it might...
Well, you seem to find a way.
Yeah, I'm good at that. So today we're going to keep the maritime theme going this week.
Maritime?
Yeah, like
I
water.
thought you said maritime.
No, water and boats and stuff.
Okay.
Yep, at
It's
least
about mermaids?
No.
Sirens.
That would have been a good one.
Sirens?
I would have gone with our hot sauce.
Oh my goodness.
No.
You really missed an opportunity there.
No, this one's a Michigan-based one.
You've been really hitting the Michigan.
I feel like it's been a while.
2 episodes ago?
Yeah, but it was multiple
remember
episodes.
the bath bombs? Why did we not call that the bath bombs? Oh my goodness, what a missed opportunity. If you didn't listen 2 episodes ago, the school bombings in Bath. Man, I might go rename it.
That upset
we
about
called it the Cantankerous Tinkerer, which is fun too, but bath bombs would have been way less.
That would have been an anomaly in the hashtags for bath bombs. One of those things, but not like the other.
Capital B bath bombs. It's a little more not offensive, but forward. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, all right. So this one I'm going to sleep on before we name it, because normally we name it as we're doing it or after, but sometimes you got to let them settle in.
I was productive today.
You were.
So it's going to be at least maritime adjacent. So this one is
we're
more
in Michigan. Everything's maritime adjacent.
Yeah, all except for one border. And that's next to Ohio. Ugh. So this one's more going to be a theme with just a couple of terrible things that happened along the way. So today I'm going to tell you about the Soo locks and the couple of really bad accidents that about took them completely out.
Okay.
Do you know where the Soo locks are? Because I have to ask.
Sault Ste Marie?
Yes, they are.
See, I know.
Do you know how to spell Sault Ste Marie?
Kinda.
It is Sault, S-A-L-T.
I thought there was a U in it, but...
S-T-E Marie. Oh, well, there might be a U in it. Yeah, I think you're right. S-A-U-L-T.
Yeah.
And then the Saint
otherwise it'd be
is
Sault Ste Marie.
No, it wouldn't. Have you met Michigan? We got Dowagiac and Tecumseh and Ypsilanti.
Okay, and this is probably going to get me virtually slapped by people, but in my mind the Soo locks are our version of the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Kinda?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just give me like a meh, and then feel because that's
Yeah.
like I don't know what exactly they do, but I assume that there's something to that extent.
We'll get to it. Except there's a lot less like genocide.
Somebody's going to fall
and-
into them, aren't they?
No. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess it's fall. I mean, falling is part of it.
Pushed,
No.
Okay.
You'll find out.
jumped.
So, nope. No one's jumped into them. At least
Okay.
not that I could find.
Nobody's completed suicide.
No. No one has completed suicide in the Sault Ste. Marie. The Sioux Locks. So, they're here in Michigan in the Sault Ste. Marie. The
When
locks.
you say Sulaks, do you want to call it Duloc? Duloc is no. This one's not in video, so my dancing does nothing.
So the locks were built into the St. Mary River that connects Lake Superior and Lake Huron.
Is it St. Mary or the St. Marie?
You know, I'm pretty sure it's Marie. Mary. I don't know.
Because
Look,
it's Sault Ste. Marie, but it's the St. Mary's. Oh, no, it's fine.
I rapidly typed all of this, so like you get what you get. They were built in the
just hope you
river
say
that runs.
I hope you say Tiffany Marie at some point.
No,
in this.
they're built in the river that runs between Lake Superior and Lake Huron. And so there's a 21-foot drop between the rivers, which when the white people, aka the French and the British, settled in northern Michigan and Canada with the sole purpose of hunting and mining everything the land had to offer, they decided that the rapids were too dangerous to move ships through. And having to unload the ships' goods onto like smaller boats like canoes and then onto bigger boats again was too much of a waste of time. So to make this section of the St. Mary's River safer and more effective, Michigan built the first lock in 1855 called the State Lock. Then they very quickly realized they needed bigger locks and an additional lock to allow for like upbound and downbound traffic. So they built a few more and then also started Canada. It's a big, long backstory. If you really want to go into the nitty-gritty details, the Sioux Locks has their own official website, and also I think lakesuperior.com or something like that has it. Look it up. It's long.
Is it spelled Lock, L-O-C-H?
No.
L-O-C-K?
Yep.
Huh.
And Sioux is spelled S-O-O. Even though Sault Ste. Marie is spelled S-A-U-L-T.
Okay.
Yep.
This is making a lot of sense.
It's like Mackinac and Mackinac. They're both spelled different, too.
When you said Lock, I assume they like stole it like Lock Aaron.
No.
Like L-O-C-H, no?
No. Is because they like lock the... We'll get to it. So, but for the first
I'm just
lock...
making wild assumptions about something I know nothing about.
Me neither. I saw a picture that moved. Look at me go.
Wow.
That is the hard hitting.
I can knock this table all I want. It's not connected to anything except your mic. That's fine. People think we lived in an earthquake zone already. Where do you want me to put my feet? On the desk?
Yes, prop them up here.
No, my
There's a
hamstrings
big-
are still very tight from the aforementioned lake.
So the first lock to even begin, the project had to be bid on. It was won by E&T Fairbanks Company and their engineer Charles Harvey. It was a 2-year contract, so Harvey pulled up with about 300 to 400 men. They built shanties and a hospital. They broke ground in June of 1856, and the crew labored for 1.5 hours a day. And soon it became...
Say 1.5 hours a day?
Sorry, 11.5 hours a day.
1.5 hours a day. I'm not impressed.
Nope.
So wait.
It was a 12-hour
Did you say
workday.
1854?
1856.
Okay. Circa our house.
Oh my God, yes. Our house was built at the exact same time that the Sioux Locks was built. Holy
fact.
shit. Yeah. So soon it became obvious that they weren't going to finish the project in time between the labor
Well,
shortage.
yeah, they're working an hour and a half a day.
11.5 hours a day.
What a union these guys got.
They had no union, let's be honest. So soon it became obvious that they were not going to finish the project on time in between the labor shortage and the frigid weather. So cue John Brooks from the Canal Company. He brought additional workers from Detroit, other eastern cities, and immigrants to aid in the construction of the canal. This brought the crew up to 1,700 workers. And not like it really mattered. The supply ships coming to the canal, coming to the locks, would get grounded in the river. Workers went on strikes. They had troubles with the cofferdam, which is like the little mini dam that blocks water, so you could actually construct things.
So you can work. Yeah.
We learned that in the Hoover Dam episode.
Sure we did.
Yep. You were supposed to learn it in the Hoover Dam episode.
You know how much crap you tell me a week?
A lot.
Inside and outside of this podcast?
Yep.
It's a lot to retain.
And then on top of all of this, cholera spread through the work camp.
Oh.
Yep.
I guess that's better than STD.
Is it? STDs usually don't kill you.
It's easier to explain.
I suppose. Oh, not if it's a bunch of men in the 1850s.
Yeah.
Cholera might be easier to
Those
explain.
winters get cold.
So by late summer 1954, 10% of the crew had died, and there were even more that were too weak to work. So despite all these setbacks, the Fairbanks Company finished 1.5 months early, and the first ship to use the locks was the steamer Illinois on June 18th, 1855.
I was really hoping it was the Cleveland steamer.
They really missed an opportunity.
Come on.
They needed a marketing team.
Right?
Since then, they have been updated to accommodate the largest ships to sail the Great Lakes, which are 1,000 feet long.
It's a big boat.
Yeah, there are like 13 of them that go through the locks.
I don't know if
with
I've ever seen a
freight.
boat that's 1,000 feet long.
No, you can. They have webcams you can watch
Well, I
them
know,
live at.
but that's like, it's just hard for me to wrap my... I know those kind size ships exist, but I've never seen one.
No, it's
So-
almost a quarter mile. Right,
Yeah,
like it's a
that's-
fifth of a mile.
That's nutty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
So all of these are just kind of all the things that I could find that were terrible regarding the building of the Soo locks. So it's not so bad, right? But there's more because it's me.
nothing's been terrible yet.
No, not yet.
I mean, you have some people dying because it's the 1850s and it's cold. Like,
Yeah.
It's in
gonna do?
cholera. What are you going to do?
Yep. So after a disappointing search
I
about
wonder what their hospital did. Because they said they built
gave
one.
them morphine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Away you go.
Good night.
Yeah.
So
Look, he's better. Get out of here.
So after a disappointing search about the construction, I found a
That's
couple
how everyone talks in the 1850s, but in my mind.
that Boston accent.
Yeah. Everyone's just, yeah,
That's your least offensive Boston accent.
correct.
So after a disappointing search about the construction, I found a couple of terrible accidents that had happened instead. So on a busy summer day, June 9th, 1909,
God, dude. Bird. Anyway, you were saying?
on a busy summer day, June 9th, 1909, a very impatient American captain of an ore ship freighter decided...
Okay, so the locks are built. Now we're zooming.
Yeah,
So we're moving 5 decades into the
At
future.
this point, there are at least 3 of them. So, like, Michigan built a couple, and then they refurbished a couple because they were too small. Canada wound up building some, and I think there's like 4 functioning locks now.
Okay. Here's my question, because you know all sorts of useless things. And
Sure.
Why is there locks and keys? Like Key West?
Like
lock-
geographical-wise?
Like locks and key... sorry.
I don't
Come on now.
know.
Why are they called Key West and Key Largo and Key whatever?
Because they're all part of an island chain called the Keys.
I know, but why?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the person who found them.
Okay. Next podcast.
Okay.
I just want to know the obsession with...
Lock and keys?
Yeah.
Because everybody was so sexually pent up way back in the 1800s that they had to make innuendos all the time.
I don't think most people think lock and key is a sexual innuendo.
Who the hell wouldn't think lock and key is a sexual innuendo?
Okay, it's like the most G-rated sexual innuendo of all time.
Yeah, exactly. It was the 1800s. Everything had to be G-rated.
Whatever. Keep reading your story, lady.
So anyway, a very impatient American
You're supposed to
captain.
know these things.
Sorry to disappoint. So a very
At least you acknowledge
impatient...
you disappointed.
An American captain of an ore shipping freighter decided to be a dick. The American sides of the canal were bustling with delays of several hours upbound toward Lake Superior. I should have Googled this.
The what?
Assiniboia?
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 Assiniboia. No, I think you said
Look
it right.
at it.
Ass in a boya. Ass in a boya. Nope, it's ass in a boya.
The Assiniboia.
I'm not even. That's not even a joke. That's how it's spelled. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's literally
The
ass in I boo I a.
The Assiniboia,
Nailed it.
a passenger ship, had just got
That's
clearance.
a boat name?
Yes.
I thought it was going to be a dumb town name.
It's a boat. It was like a passenger steamship. It had just got clearance to head downbound on the Canadian side.
Where do you work? Oh, I'm on the Assiniboia. The what? What's wrong? Anyway, this is a terrible name for anything.
It's bad. So it was a passenger ship that had just got clearance to head downbound on the Canadian side along with the Crescent City, who was also carrying ore. That's another ship.
What a normal name.
Yep. That was the second ship set to enter behind Assiniboia. They were both headed downbound toward Lake Huron.
Then came up the third boat, tits in your face.
No. The third boat's name was Perry G. Walker.
Perry G. So straight up named after a guy. Yeah. Middle initial and all.
Yep. So this is the impatient boat.
The Perry Walker.
Yep, the Perry Walker was the impatient boat. So deciding he didn't want to wait in the queue line on the American side of the locks.
Winkle. Sorry. Oh. It's a giant. Is that pink? That's a shade of pink, right?
Blue.
Blue?
Yes,
why did I think it was
Perry
pink?
Winkle is blue.
Because
it sounds like a name that should be pink.
Yes. Periwinkle blue. Okay.
It's a very soft, powdery blue, like your favorite blue.
Like a forget-me-not blue?
Forget-me-not blues are way prettier than Perry blues.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. Would I be able to tell the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
One is the gross baby blue that you absolutely detest, and the other one's a nice, pretty, light, true blue.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll believe you.
All right.
I'll choose to believe you.
Anyway.
Perry Walker got pissed. He's going the wrong way in a one-way?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So deciding he didn't want to wait in the queue on the American side of the locks, the captain decided to head upbound toward the Canadian lock, which is where the two ships were headed downbound in the opposite direction. So Perry G. Walker started weaving in and out of traffic, jockeying for the first position to enter the locks.
And then all of a sudden an Assiniboia.
Uh-huh.
Straight up as Perry Walker.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's exactly
I'm commentating a match.
But you know what? That's exactly what happens. So, of course, he was driving like a dick. He realized that he was...
Perry G?
Yep, Perry G.
Which sounds like it's not the captain's name. It's the boat name.
No, it's the boat's name. So the captain realized that he was headed toward the locks too quickly. So he called for full speed in reverse, which was completely miscommunicated to the chief engineer below deck.
To full steam ahead.
Yes, he did. He went to full steam ahead.
I just see like in the Titanic when they're cranking that levers and they're shoveling coal in. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty much what was happening. Yeah. It was about 1909. I mean, it was about that time.
If you asked me what year the Titanic happened, I wouldn't know. I just don't, okay? Don't judge me, lady.
It was 1912.
That's fine. I know, obviously, I would have guessed around this time.
Yeah.
If you're like, what year? I would be like, I don't know.
It was April of 1912.
Cool.
Yep, you're welcome. So Perry G. Walker struck the lower gates of the lock head on, and it completely crushed the lower end gates, resulting in a pressure change in the locks. So this is probably a good time to pause for the cause.
Did it make a waterfall?
Worse.
Tidal wave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
20-footer probably.
Yeah. So it explained real quick how locks work. So according to this real simplified graphic that I'd mentioned earlier from the Sioux Locks official website, there are like two gates, right? One at the front, one at the back. And a valve that controls the water level.
Isn't it like how you have to go in that little room when you're leaving like an aviary?
Mm-hmm.
To make sure there's no butterflies on you?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Birds or aviaries, but yes.
Whatever.
So the ship goes...
butterfly house.
Yep. So the ship goes into the gates at one end and they close, and then the water is either pulled in to raise the level inside the gates.
The Panama Canal.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, they're either raised to meet the level if you're going upward, or they're lowered to meet the level if you're going downward.
Should have just made a water slide.
For 1,000-foot boats.
Yeah, like the rollers, like they used to give a shit on Family Dollar at.
Oh my god! And if you didn't get the angle right, she would fly up the other side.
Laundry detergent just zinging at you at 20 miles an hour
with driver sweat all over it. Oh dear God, the PTSD. Oh, did I ever tell you I walked into the back room? Oh God, Todd's gonna kill me. I can't say it. It was so bad.
Read your story.
So, anyway, the back, the gates are closed. The water level rises or lowers. They open the other gate. And you just kind of smoothly float on down the river. So the pressure changes inside the lock, which causes the gates to buckle and water to surge in from Lake Superior. And now complete chaos ensued. The Walker was pushed
The Perry G.
The Perry G was pushed down the river with its bow turning to port, which is like to the bow. Jesus Christ, I did it again.
I believe it's bow.
It is bow. So his bow turned to port, which is the left side. I Googled it. Don't worry. And the Assiniboia broke loose of its moors, getting tossed into the sides of the lock, and then it got spit out of the lock, headed straight toward Perry G.
You spat out the Assiniboia?
Yep. The Assiniboia got spat out of the lock. And it headed straight toward Perry G. So it hit Perry G right in the middle of the ship.
Right in its... Yeah.
Yep, right in the middle of the ship on its right side. Mm-hmm. So the Crescent City was trying desperately at the same time to get tied to the Moors and failing to do so. So it also got carried down the river. The captain managed to slow the ship and turn it just enough to barely graze the Assiniboia and missed the Perry G completely.
Sorry.
So after regaining control, all three ships managed to make it to the docks where the Crescent City, which was the most heavily damaged, promptly sank.
Okay.
Yep. So they managed.
Did people get out of it in time?
It was just an ore ship. The Assiniboia was a passenger ship. So that would have been the one that would have been the most tragic.
It was a full Assiniboia.
It was a full Assiniboia.
The most dangerous kind.
So they managed to get the Crescent City repaired enough to make port and get fully repaired. Same with the other two ships. But they floated it. They filled the compartments with air and they floated it back up. They got it repaired enough to make it to the port it was supposed to go to, where it got dry docked and fully repaired. The other ships were also, they continued on their route. They weren't so damaged that they couldn't make it.
They should have sunk the Perry G for ruining the locks.
So all the traffic was rerouted to the American side of the locks. All because he tried to, save a few hours. Mm-hmm. So all of this shut down the Canadian locks for 12 days. It did $55,000 in 1909's money, which is approximately over $1.5 million in today's money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So which the Canadian government settled with the insurance company for Perry G. Walker. So the accident damaged both gates that were swept away in the surge of water, the walls, the grates, intake valves. The lock timbers were all damaged and electrical wires were ripped out, along with tons of debris and silt clogging the locks in the river. But somehow, no one died.
Nice.
Yep.
Perry G, that wasn't a passenger ship either. Though,
no, the Crescent City and Perry G were both ore. Yep. So this was not so true for the next accident. On a rainy October 7th, 1941, a train crashed into the American side of the locks.
Was there train tracks over the locks?
There were.
Okay, it wasn't just like a rogue train, just barreling down the beach. Shit, the locks.
No, there still is a train track that runs over it.
Have you ever been on a train? Like a big train?
No, the only
time somewhere?
No, the only train I've ever been on is the same one you were on.
The dinner train?
Yeah.
I'd like to go on a train.
Yeah. Like to Chicago?
No.
Sensitive.
I'm going to die having never been to Chicago out of spite. And that's a joke that's outside of this podcast and needs not be explained.
And is about 12 years old. 11 years old. I can do math.
It is aged like a fine wine.
Yes.
But anyway,
it is turned to vinegar.
No, I would love to go on a train because I wouldn't have to drive. I don't know if I'd be okay with that, actually, now that I say that out loud.
Yeah, you don't even want to go on airplanes because
no, I have no problem with airplanes.
Are you sure? Because we drove to Disney, to Florida.
Yeah.
2 days.
We agreed that was a good option. You also drove 45 minutes of the entire trip there and back.
Okay, it was
30 hours of driving. You drove 45 minutes and said, "I'm actually sleepy. Can you drive?" And I was like, if looks could have killed, you'd been dead right then.
And there were a lot of other things that probably should have killed me besides your looks. That trip, it was stressful.
Anyway, finish your story, lady. I think I'd be okay with the train driving. They win all the collisions. It's fine.
They usually do, yes.
Maybe I'll do my July episode on train collisions.
I can think of one very recently within the last decade that would fuck your world up.
There was a Michigan... Oh, no. Anyway, there was a Michigan State basketball player whose brother died in a train accident.
Oh.
But then as soon as I said it, I was thinking, I was like, was it intentional or not? And then I was like, whatever.
No, yeah,
I don't remember the details of the story, but I would go like 200 years back.
Good choice, because the one that happened
They're all
a decade ago, and it was like
they're horrible.
Fucked.
Yeah,
because there were a lot of explosions. Yeah, they're bad. So the train crashed into the American side of the locks, blocking 2 out of the 3 locks. There was a jackknife style drawbridge, which is like where just like a long piece of the drawbridge just goes, one side of it goes up instead of like 2, like a traditional drawbridge.
Okay.
And
is that considered still a drawbridge?
Yes, because the drawbridge just has to be one that lifts up. Yeah. So it's a jackknife style drawbridge that ran the expanse of the locks, which is over a mile long, with a north.
So wait, one side went up a mile high?
No, just over. No,
it's like, whoa,
because
that is an impressive bridge. just stands 5,000 feet up.
It's a very erect bridge.
Yeah, we can see it from here.
You can see it from the space station.
Oh, there goes the Sulak Bridge, breaking the atmosphere.
No, there's just a few sections of it, because bridges start kind of a little while inland before they kind of go over the water.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's over a mile long. There's a north track and a south. No, just the bridge itself. Mm-hmm. There's a north track and a south track. So the locomotive hauling paper, pulpwood, steel rails, and other miscellaneous.
Pulpwood?
Yeah, pulpwood, like fine, like what's in Leslie's cage, like
Cedar
ground up, flaky pulp.
That's fine.
Doesn't
I just
matter.
never heard of the word pulpwood.
I don't know. It's in the article I read.
That's fine. I'm not doubting its legitimacy. Just when you say words I don't know, I repeat them. Makes me feel intelligent.
Like I'm questioning. Tell me more. I'm involved in your life, but really I don't care.
But then when you don't know, I feel better.
No, I tried explaining it to you, but you were like, "Nah, you lost me."
Yep.
So it pulled onto the
I didn't
north.
give you a chance.
It pulled onto the north tracks, which began to sag under the weight of the train. So according to the bridge tender on duty named Albert Penman, the north span started sagging. Then, quote, "It went down slowly. I stood there watching it. The locomotive went with it. What the fuck else was he going to do?
Go save the train?
No.
Superman style?
No.
It's called the bridge tender, you said?
Yeah, so he's like watching it. Mm-hmm. You know, this is 1941, which is smack dab in the, like, kind of the slight beginning of World War II.
I realize he's someone who tends the bridge, but a bridge tender to me is just funny sounding. No other reason. It's just funny sounding.
So the locomotive went with it. 2 of the fellows crawled up the bridge, and the other 2, I guess, drowned.
There's only 4 people on the train?
Yep. So the 2 other men managed to climb up.
How slowly did it go down?
I don't know. It didn't say.
If they could climb the bridge, it must be going, or climb the train.
No, they climbed the bridge.
Oh, so they jumped off the train onto the bridge.
No, they went down with it, got out of the train, and climbed up the bridge.
Logistics. I couldn't wrap my brain around
Yes. So the other 2 men managed to climb up the twisted girders of the bridge to safety, but then the engineer named Hazen Willis and the conductor named Dave Monroe were trapped inside the engine cab, so they wound up drowning.
Hazen?
Hazen.
It's kind of a fun name.
Yeah.
Needs to make a comeback.
It should. So the locomotive and the 2 freight cars attached to it sank into the St. Mary's River, or Marie's River. It's up for debate. So this wound up blocking the 3rd and 4th locks. It took 4 days to clear the debris, cutting the bridge out in 165 feet chunks to retrieve the train from the water.
The train's out, though?
Mm-hmm. And the south expanse of the bridge was pulled down as well. It just didn't collapse. It wound up sagging 3 feet below its, like, horizontal position. So the arm on the north side of the tracks had given out. There wasn't any explanation as to why this happened. The government was just concerned about whether or not it was sabotage, since, you know, it was 1941 and WWII and all. But according to Penman...
WW2.
But according to Penman, all was fine and ready to go when the train pulled onto the tracks.
He's
the bridge,
a tender, so you got to take his word for it.
Yep. So the bridge just gave way under its weight. And that's all the terrible stuff I have for you about the Sulaks.
So is someone who keeps an eye on chickens technically a chicken tender?
Yes.
Sorry. I've had too many Vizzies tonight, guys.
Nope.
Doesn't that make sense?
A clear line of logic.
Instead of a chicken farmer, you're a chicken tender.
Yeah, let's be honest. Birds do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, you're just there to
feed them.
Anyway.
And collect their eggs.
No, I do. I feel as the one advantage you covering more and more Michigan stuff is I feel like less of an idiot when it comes to like knowing my own state.
Right.
Because I've never been to the Sioux Locks, but if we go, and we should, because I know it's like cool and you can like check out and it's historical. And
Oh yeah, no, and
it's everything we like.
I did this specifically because I have a client who's taking her family up to go.
And she listens, you said, right?
Yes, she listens.
Okay.
She just started listening, and she's also got me into a couple of other podcasts because she's amazing. She's the one that has the girl who's super smart.
Yep.
And so she's and they made the dumb shirts.
Yeah, because you the
Yes.
Yeah, and I said they should do the Master Freighter.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember this. This was during leg day. We talked about
It
this.
was during leg day.
Just to come full circle.
Yes, because she was like, "Oh, we're going to the Sioux Locks," and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if anything really bad's happened." And then I looked into the construction, and I was like, "Well, they died of cholera. That's not exciting." And then I found these other articles, and I was like, "Ooh,
Ooh, a
this is
train
fun."
crash. That's weird.
Yeah, you wouldn't think train crash, into the Sioux Locks, but she said there's like webcams you can watch and stuff like that of them.
Yeah.
So,
I have a
the shirts say freighters are gonna freight.
Freighter's gonna freight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a bad feeling come next, whenever we record the Tuesday episode, you're gonna be like, we haven't done a murder in a while.
Nope, that's the deep dive.
When's that?
Friday.
Next Friday? Mm-hmm. Oh, is that episode 40?
Yes, it is.
Oh, shoot. This is 38?
Yes, it is.
Cool. They are piling up fast.
What the hell did I decide for episode 39? I have the research. Oh.
You don't have to tell me. Mm-hmm. That's part of the fun.
Yep.
Don't tell these people. They might not come back.
Oh, no.
All our non-Michigan listeners are like, man, I know so much shit about Michigan now.
The Sioux Locks is spelled Sault.
The Sault Ste Marie is.
Sault Ste Marie, yeah.
The Sioux Locks isn't.
Yeah, no, that's named after, I think that's a tribe.
Sioux tribe?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what my mom's named after.
Doubtful.
Karen Sue.
They're about as white as you can get.
The natives?
No, your mom.
That was a joke. Anywho, if you made it this far, congrats. Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
So I'm going to have to remember, this one's going to need heavily edited. I don't want to talk about how long this one is, guys.
The cat.
It will not be as long as we recorded.
No.
That is for sure.
Nope.
But anyway, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
What is today? We're halfway through the month?
The 14th.
So we have one more week of podcasts, which will get us to episode 40, which would be nice. And then we'll take a week off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
I did. Trust me. I have the next 8 episodes planned out. There's a break.
So that means 6 weeks from now we'll hit episode 50. Mm-hmm. You already had that calculated. You said,
I do.
Like, I know.
Mm-hmm. I've got it on my little sheet in that red folder.
Is that going to be our anniversary?
Shit.
Like, dead nuts on our anniversary?
Shit.
Anywho, thanks for listening. We're going to go figure out what month it is. And then, do you have it planned out?
No, it's not.
It's close.
No, episode 47 will be the day after.
Okay. If you say so. Anywho.
Just looked it up.
That's fine. We did, since Tuesday, we have gotten that one additional subscriber on YouTube. So
that you wanted.
Next Tuesdays will probably also be audio and visual, if you so fancy.
Also, I hadn't looked into it, but I saw it in passing. Brittany's lawyer,
I saw
Ingham,
something.
Yeah, had requested to be removed from being her lawyer.
Yeah. So potential follow-up episode, potential follow-up mini blurb YouTube video?
Maybe.
Maybe a Tiff only?
Ugh.
Scott doesn't care.
I'm going to be
Just kidding.
super drunk about it. I
Right.
am.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night, 12:30 in the morning, where to get it out and be like, this is the
Guys,
follow-up.
he's sleeping, so we have to be quiet.
And that is not a joke. I will be dead asleep. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Yes.
I'm going to save this and edit it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
We didn't do video.
Nope.
That makes my editing so much easier.
Yes.
It does. All right. And, yeah, what did I say I was going to do? Train accidents. Bonus episode coming in, I'm probably going to release that while we're on vacation.
Oh, well, you better start Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that way we can shamelessly plug if you're missing us. That's how we roll around here, guys. We don't have a marketing team, but we have us.
Hey, I studied business.
Hey, I didn't. All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.